Hi, welcome to Back 40 Auto Works. My name is Jeremy. My friends call me Styles. Uh, we're back at the shop today. Going to try and do a bit with Hudson. Not a whole lot. This is kind of just figuring stuff out day. I got a steering column I might try and knock up. I really should try and put a transmission mount into the back of it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today because the voices in my head are telling me to pull this out, but hand me in. You know, I'm indecisive and all that. I can't get my mind straight. And I did happen to find a fellow who has one of those tail shafts to switch that heavy transmission from four-wheel drive to two-wheel drive, so could happen yet, but probably not. The LS is in. We fought to get it in. For now, we'll leave it in. I want to maybe see how my console works. Gonna maybe pop the intake on that just to cover up the holes, so don't get any more dust down there. Yeah, so kind of a figuring day, just trying to decide what move to make, which direction to go next. I know I really should finish taking the rust off and pounding the dents out, but we'll get there at some point. She's not going to be a fantastic car, so we'll see what happens. For any of you who have been paying attention and following along with the chicken videos, and I think if you have, our little chick is doing quite well. She's now, I think, about 3 weeks old. She's getting pretty big there. Yeah, we're pretty excited. We do have more eggs in the incubator. It looks like 5 of them may actually hatch. So this little girl or guy, we hope it's a girl. We really don't want any more roosters. We'll see what happens there too. Should have some friends soon. There, come here. There she is. Come on. Come here. We call her Biscuits. Just something silly. And yeah, she's alive and well. I still have the chain on here from when we put the motor in, so I had to pull that chain off and put a spark plug back in. I think I had to pull the number 2 plug out to wrap the chain around the intake without destroying stuff. So we'll do that and wipe down around these intake ports and put the manhole on for now. I should also look in the trunk where all the parts are and see if I have the transmission mount. Alright, so got the intake sitting on. I'm just going to use my drill to snug her down here. Kind of overkill, but I'm going to get too carried away. That's part of the electric drill is it's not very tight, so you just go along behind it with a ratchet under these at. I know you're probably supposed to torque this in star pattern. I'm just snuggering it down for the time being, so. Just to get her on there, keep the dust out. There we go, that's on. Quite a mess of harness here, if I could. But I'll figure that out too. By wire. Hopefully that works. We'll find out. I should point out, this was a running engine when I pulled it out. I drove the truck up here. Can't get out. So we know that one was good. So we shouldn't have any more issues with water and cylinders and foolish stuff like that. But things happen. I had said many times that I'm going to use as many things out of the Silverado as I can just to keep costs down. The Rad, however, may not be one of those things we can use. It's going to be too wide. Now, if I take these pedestals off, there's one here and over here on the other side here. I think they might have been originally Rad supports. I'm not sure. You can kind of see them sticking up there. If I take those out, that Rad might drop down lower, but I don't think it's going to get down low enough to where it's going to fit. I just have it sitting on the engine right now. I think it's going to be too wide. Of course, I'm spilling stuff all over the floor again because, I do seem to like to do that. However, this might be one Silverado piece which I don't think we're going to be able to make work. It'll certainly go between the frame rails there. But I don't think. There are some pieces on the side of the firewall I'm going to take off and see if maybe she'll fit in. We'll see what happens. Alright, so one of the things I've discovered when trying to mount the rad is that there is a bar over here, right here, on the driver's side. That's on an angle. And there was another one that was over here on the passenger side that was cut short. And it's looking to me like they might have laid the radiator in there on an angle. Now, I don't know. Can that still be done? We get enough airflow doing that? I also have this old radiator out of a Diplomat. That was good rad when I pulled it out. Because, I don't throw out anything. When really I should. I've been tripping over for 2 years. It may or may not fit right in there. So the radiator does lay right in there on that bracket. Kind of cool. The tank is touching the cross member, but I think I can lift it up maybe a couple inches. And now another thing that's kind of neat about this is this bracket right here was attached to the hood up there, and it tilts forward. And it clears that rad. Now I do want to lift this rad up a little bit, maybe, I don't know, half an inch or so, because I still want the hood to be able to close on it if I can use this. I'm hoping this has enough cooling. That's probably, I don't know how many cores are in on one, maybe two. I'm hoping it's enough. And I do also have a transmission cooler, which I can mount, the Silverado's old transmission cooler, which I can mount out here. So we'll see how that works. It doesn't fit quite as tight into the brackets as I like, but I think it's going to get us out of the woods. I don't know if you can see down in there. That pipe down there, square pipe, is not actually quite touching the bracket yet on this side. There are some bosses here in the bracket for the rad. I might ground them down a bit to make them fit flush. Some on this side as well. And if you look in here, on this side, the rad is not quite fitting tight to the post as I'd like. But I'm thinking this is going to work. As you can see the way it's laying down on an angle from the engine, there's definitely enough airflow in there. There's enough room down in there to put that big ugly battery box back in there that wasn't there and hide my battery in there. So, this might actually work out not too bad yet. Again, with hot rodding, guys, use as much used parts as you can. That's what it was all about in the beginning. Finding what you can and making it work. So the next thing I want to try and do is mock up the steering column. I'm noticing now that where the steering column comes out under the dashboard, it's going to put the steering wheel pretty low, pretty close to the seat. So I don't know if that column is going to work. I'm going to need a column with tilt, I think. So I might be using the Silverado column yet. Anyway, we'll see what happens. First thing we'll do is get that old column out of there. That's going to be a bit of a struggle. But we'll see. We will do what we can. Anyway. There's a 50 pounds of harness right here. I think I just broke something. Okay. As I said before, I like to break things. So what we'll do is let that joint go right there. If we can get that out. Put a little bit of magic juice on here and see what happens. Again, there's a whole lot of let's see what happens on this channel. Let that sit for a minute. These are 9s. I don't seem to want to break free as easy as I'd like them to. However, oh, that hurts. might need a big girl for that. Break her free. I think. Alright, let's see what we can break. Oh, it's gonna break my face. That might happen yet too. There we go. Alright. Just let go. Coming out though. Yep, it's coming out. Alright, one's out. Ooh. It's burnt worse than I thought. That joint in there is burnt right out. That old column is done. But it does look to be the same bracket that's on the Chevette one. We'll see. Let's see what happens. So we got the column let go. It'll hold the firewall. This joint down here, you can see because the camera work is hold on here. That harness. This drive shaft joint here, I'm just gonna have to heat it up. I let the bolt go there, but I'll heat up the torch and take her off, and then we'll see if the column will come in through this hole. See which column we're gonna end up using. All right, as you can see, I have the knuckle is off the main shaft for the steering. Pardon me, can't talk tonight. The knuckle is off the main shaft for the steering column. I'm going to see now if I can get that Chevette column to work. So I'm not 100% sure. That might not even go in the hole. We may have to do some finagling there too. But at least the ignition switch is still on this. Starter switch and everything. And I got a key, so that's good. Yeah. I don't know if that's for the... We may have to do some tearing apart yet, but we'll see if this will even go in the hole. Well, whether it's going to fit or not, the big problem I can already see is it's very close to the seat. So, one or two things has to happen. Seats have to come down, or we're going to need a tilt column. Or that column's got to go up. We might be notching this dashboard, which is something that may have to happen. Okay, so that won't go through that hole. We'll have to put a bigger hole in the firewall for either column to fit. You know, actually, if it goes in there, yeah, we're going to have that higher, quite a bit higher. But I think that would be the same thing with the Silverado column. Either way, we got to drill a hole. So where that's going to be, yeah, that's going to have to come up. Absolutely. There's always customization to be done, which we expected. However, I do think that's going to bolt up to that bracket. We're going to have to cut a bigger hole in the firewall to get anything through there. I'm going to have to raise those brackets. And I can see more daylight where that firewall meets the cowl. So there's going to be some seam sealing and stuff done yet. The voices in my head are already talking about what to do. Except for that one guy, he's in the back yelling and cursing. Although he can be fun. So as it stands, whichever column I use has to be raised. Those seats are actually pretty well in the right spot. I don't really want to mess that up. However, I think because there's nothing I can do with the column tonight, that I might see if that console is going to fit in there and how that's going to look. And if not, it'll go on something else. So it looks to me like the steering wheel should come up at least another 3 inches. And I'm okay with that. You know, we expected we might be modifying the dash. That's all right. I don't know how skinny or small a person was in here originally that had this wheel. Maybe he had a tilt column, but it looks to me obviously like it was a Chev column because these bolts look like they line up those brackets there. Anyway, that out of the way for now. He must have had something with a tilt column too. All right, so I think I'm going to take this bolt out here, down here in this column, the one I'm trying to use, and take that rag joint off. Not tonight, but I will do that, and then I will try to see if I can get it to fit in the dash where it's supposed to go. And as I said, I think I'm going to have to make some bracketry and raise it about 3 or 4 inches. Okay, so that console actually does fit between the seats pretty good. It's a hole in the floor that I got to take care of where the shifter is, so I'm going to possibly raise it. But here's the dilemma. Now, come here. My seats are actually right where I want them to be. They're the right height. I can see out the window. Not too bad. Keep in mind, the nose is up in the air because we got her up to put the engine in. We do something with that. But for my armrest to be where I want it to be, you know, so when you're cruising, hand on the wheel, well, it needs to be up right about here. Be comfortable. Yeah. So I'm thinking what we might do is do some, customization on that, maybe. I don't know. The e-brake is almost right in the right place, but we got to move that anyway. My steering wheel should be right about here. Now, I don't want to pull my seat ahead, of course, but I still have to have a lot of movement on these seats, and if I go too much further ahead, I'm going to hit the door. But these seats are nice. They're comfortable. If they got the belt in them, they're actually the right height, more or less. Older cars, I think, were taller in general. I can put them up on pedestals and raise them up if I need to. Maybe a couple inches, I may do that. That's probably what's going to work. But that steering column that I had for the Chevette is going to put the wheel right on the seat. Ideally, you want it right about here. You know, you're kind of looking through your steering wheel to your gauges. So we are going to end up cutting a hole at the bottom of the dash, making some new bracketry in whichever column we go with. And I would like to use the Chevette for the simplicity of it, but it will probably be the Silverado, which means this console was a waste of money. I'll use it in something else because it does have the shifter on the wheel, which I do like. All I really want down here is armrest and cup holder, but the e-brake is down here already, and I kind of like it there. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers and all my viewers, new and old. It's fantastic. The more I get, the better it is in the long run, because then the more time I can spend out here. However, as I said, that's going to be it for this video. There's just been some test fitting and stuff and messing around, and all that's taken me a couple hours because there's a tremendous amount of thinking involved, and that slows me down. I'm not sharp as it should be. Anyway, thanks again, and until the next time.